Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful week, and hope you guys are ready to have some fun and talk about this important topic that a lot of people don't talk about. And we're going to go on ahead and discuss it today. We discussed it before on, as Mexico as a whole, luxury. Truth of the income inequality here in Mexico. We talked about that before in another previous live stream, but in this live stream, we're going to be talking about the truth about income inequality here in Merida, Yucatan, which is the area of Mexico in which I live in. So, in fact, let's switch off real quick, to, basically a beautiful beach out here, a typical beautiful beach out here in the Yucatan. And so we're going to be talking about this because, again, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions or just don't know anything at all, period, about what's really going on with all that. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today and talking about today. So just want to give a shout out to everyone out there that's joining me. As you guys already know, on these live streams, we like to, take a little bit of a slower start and, not get right into it, because I know that a lot of people, they start getting their notifications a little later, and eventually it takes a few seconds or a few minutes before they're able to join us, all right, live. And so we're just kind of talking it out. And as you guys know how we do with live streams as well, we talk to each other, interact with each other, ask each other questions. Well, actually, you're asking me the questions, I'm answering them. Sometimes I'm asking you guys questions, about certain things. But we're interacting and we're having a conversation about this topic or whatever topic there is out there. So, again, hopefully the sound is okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully the music isn't too loud or it's just perfect or whatever. Let me know just in case there's anything. Usually you guys do let me know if there's something wrong with the audio. But anywho's, yeah, my apologies on today for, also running a few minutes late. I know I'm always running late. There's always something, right? But, today I had a bit of an emergency. We had an emergency. We had a family member of ours, had a situation where they had to go to the hospital and for emergency surgery. And everything's all great. Again, knock on wood, everything came out good, and so today I was in the hospital all day long with them, until they got released, because all other family members were working or doing something, and they were there all night. They were doing other things. So it was my responsibility to go out there and make sure that, she was released and got home okay and all that good stuff. So, again, funny enough, it kind of coincides with what we're talking about here too, to talk about, again, cost of living, cost of, what a typical Mexican spends on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, what they make, the income that they make, what is considered poor, rich, all that stuff, and what is going on in this region. Because in this region, as you guys can see, right there on the beach, it's very beautiful. There's the beach again, very, very beautiful. But with that, there's also a lot of poverty. There's also a lot of, people that live in not the greatest conditions. And, that's what we're going to be talking about today. In fact, we're going to go more into detail on that. And I'm going to show you, and we're going to talk about that in the sense of like, where do you fit in? How's this going to work, on your end, and all that stuff. So, in fact, now that I was, talking to you guys, I realized, that there's a video out there that I would like to show you guys as well, so you guys can get a better idea as to, the whole situation out here. So one second, let me get that ready. So I can show you guys in the background here, in a sense. I know I should have had this ready. Yeah, again, like I said, I literally got home like 15 minutes ago, and here we are. Here we are. Let's go. All right, let's do this. All right, so real quick, here we go. Let's get that YouTube's
Hey guys,
ready.
how's it going?
Hey,
And
who's
welcome
that?
back
That
to
looks
another
familiar.
episode.
That looks like me. But anywho's, so again, you can see the income, inequality there. You can see it again when people show you other parts of the city. When they're showing you, for example, like the north, areas of the north of this city. You see a lot of money in the north. You see a lot of wealth in the north. You might be bringing some of that wealth. You might be spending some of that money. But it's not just about you. There's many Mexicans that are coming out here and basically doing the same. But with that said, there's many more, much more Mexicans, especially in this region, that are more on the poor side of the spectrum, that are more on the poverty side of things. In fact, about 88%, of the Yucatan is considered living in poverty or living, poverty level, very poor. So that means that only 12% of the population can really take advantage of the things that I show you in my videos, other people show you in their videos. Again, me, in my videos I tend to focus more on showing you this side of things, the real Mexico. It's all the real Mexico. Again, I talk about it a lot as to how rich Mexico is, and this is no different. And so, with that said, not just rich, but there's a lot of wealth, there's a lot of money here. But still, with that being said, there's a lot of people that are still in need. In fact, earlier this week, on a couple days ago, we went out to Chetumal, okay, which is basically an hour and a half away or more, an hour and 45 minutes away, but basically all the way in the middle of nowhere on the beach, on the border of Campeche, and we went to go help a bunch of people out there that are in a similar situation or worse. You'll see in the video. There's going to be coming up soon, as soon as I get a chance to edit it. But what I was going to say is that those people over there, they got hit really hard. Okay, they got really hard with one of the previous hurricanes, and so, well, they need a lot of help. More help than usual. So this video that you're watching there, this was a few months ago, and this is just a normal food drive, clothes drive. Just helping the needy. Helping the poor. And out here in Mexico, there's many organizations like this. Okay, and that help out. Because again, people out here cannot rely on the government per se, to help with some of these things. So, people have to take it, upon themselves. So charity groups, like this group, Los Mayas Eternos, help out. Churches, you remember, Mexico, there's a church on every corner. There's an Oxxo. Oxxo's like a 7-Eleven, but anyways, Oxxo, church, and little tiendita. You can always account for at least that in most neighborhoods or every other block. But the point I'm making is that churches help out a lot. A lot of private organizations help a lot. Private organizations that are run or founded by foreigners and locals and Mexicans as well. So there's everything in between. So again, this charity foundation is founded by a local Yucatecan person, and he's an artist as well. Basically, what happened is that he was just making art, taking photographs of his his village, his pueblo, and he was able to get some notoriety through that, and then he just started using his basically the attention that he got, plus the money that he makes from his his artwork. He started helping his neighbor, his community and things like that, which again, we've been to his community before in other videos. I'll show you that. In fact, let me get that one ready while I'm talking. But yeah, as I was saying, he's just one of the many. There's many people that that do all kinds of stuff out here and help out a lot. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys can see it okay. Hopefully it's not, hopefully the quality is not so horrible. I don't know, it feels like it's a little choppy. Let me know if it's still watchable. But yeah, but all I'm saying is that, so there's a lot of that. And then on the flip side, there's a lot of, people, that have a lot of money. You know what I mean? There's a lot of wealth and a lot of money. So there's a big income disparity out here. There's a big wealth gap, in this country. It's not just in your country. It happens out here. It's happening out here as well. And so, that's a part, that's part of it as well. And you see it, because again, a lot of people, as they see the gentrification, for example, they see the growth that's happening. All right, hold on a second. A lot of people, a lot of locals or a lot of Mexicans, not a lot, a small group, but enough of a group to make enough of a noise, to the point of, they blame, a lot of the gentrification that's happening on foreigners like you. All right. And the reality is that, we've talked about it multiple times on the channel, and we're going to keep talking about it. But, the reality is that the gentrification, isn't really you. You know what I mean? It has more to do with the locals, the locals themselves, that are, basically the ones that run the businesses. They're the ones that are overcharging. They're the ones that are, running the business, renting the homes. You get what I'm saying? Raising the prices and gentrifying. They're the ones that are really doing it. To tell you, and so that's the thing. And so we talk about that a lot, and we like to, break that down. But regardless, what I'm saying is that, Mexico is changing, and Mexico has, traditionally, had, a lot of poverty, for many reasons. But as the years have gone on, and Mexico has gotten stronger and more powerful economically, it's lifting everybody up slowly but surely. But the reality is that even with that being said, there are many parts of Mexico that are still very poor. And I happen to live in one of those areas. Because again, there are many other parts of Mexico that are very rich and they got a lot of money. And the problem with poverty is not as pronounced as it is in this area. Okay. But again, I live in the Yucatan Peninsula. I live, in a sense, in a very rural area, in a very rural part of Mexico. All right. And that's, the reality of it. Like I don't live in, like Guadalajara or Mexico City or, other areas that are, a lot more populated and have, things like industry, and they have, kind of like a better economy that allows everybody to feed off of that. So in this region, the Yucatan, for the longest time, forever, if you go really back in history, hundreds of years ago, this region was one of the richest areas in the world. But as time has gone on, the industry that used to be the main bread and butter for many people out here, which was the Henneken industry. Henneken is kind of like hemp. And, and so that is a material that was used, to, make clothing, make rope, make a lot of material. Again, hemp was a ginormous industry, and so was Henneken. And so it's a similar kind of thing. But anyways, long story short, that's why this region was extremely rich. But once that industry stopped being an industry, then this region started to slowly but surely, kind of decline into, where we're at now. Where anyways, but it declined to the severity, was to the point where it got extremely poor. One of the poorest places in Mexico. But now, in the last several years, in the last 6-10 years, I would say the last decade. Okay, let's just go with the last decade or so, last 5 years. Okay, but anyways, in that range, and continuing, this region has started to grow, and there's been more money, more investment, more everything coming out here. And so, with that said, it has started to lift up a bunch of the community and the locals and all that stuff economically, through one shape, form, or another. All right, hold on a second. I think Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the video's a little choppy. I don't know why it's so choppy there. I wish I could fix that. Maybe this will fix it. No, that's too. It's 480p. That's terrible. But anyways, and so the thing is that, yeah, there's a lot of money coming out here now. There's a lot of money, coming out to Mexico, to this region, and because of that, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if like the footage in the back is like too choppy. I gotta fix that. Anyways, but just play that, I guess. But yeah, so a lot of that's changing because there's a lot of more money coming out here, a lot more investment coming out here. And the thing is, it's not just people like you, that are coming out here, retiring out here, bringing your money out here. A lot of Mexicans are moving to this region. Just like a lot of Americans, move to Florida. So a lot of Mexicans are moving to this region. This whole region is like Florida in a sense. And so it's, again, as Mexicans, all across the country are, again, making more money and their economy is growing, their personal economy is growing. Everything's, just getting better all around. They themselves, just like back home, you would look into retiring in Florida or buying a home in Florida or having a summer home in Florida or let me invest in some land in Florida. Well, the same thing. A lot of people in Mexico, they're doing the same thing. So you might be making some money, as a whatever it is you do, you're a rich Mexican, a wealthy Mexican living in Mexico City or, other parts of Mexico, Monterrey, whatever it is, right? And, well, you look at Florida the same way, you look at the Yucatan the same way. Look, and let me show you the Yucatan. Hold on. Anyway, so you look at the Yucatan the same way. So a lot of people, again, they're making their money, and some people, some Mexicans, some wealthy Mexicans are, going to Spain and they're buying property in Spain. They're living in Spain. They're living with the wealthy in Spain. They're gentrifying Spain. Okay, and some Mexicans are coming out here and they're gentrifying this region or other regions, but they're coming out here. But this region is also having, a giant boom when it comes to expats. Again, foreigners coming from the USA and Canada, because again, many years ago, traditionally, a lot of Americans and Canadians, they would go and basically retire in Florida. That was the thing, or at least spend their winters in Florida. But now this region has turned into Florida because it's a lot more affordable. All right, and not just more affordable, but it's still virgin land in a sense, as opposed to Florida, where Florida these days is basically almost all of it is developed. And not all of it, but a lot of it is developed. And out here, it's still not developed as much. It's not even anywhere close. We've still got so much to go, which is good and bad, because now that's where it starts affecting the really, really poor people that live here. Because before there was any attention given to this area, before there was any what is it like? Before there was any popularity out here, because a lot of the people that lived out here, for the most part, they, obviously they were poor, but they were able to live within their means and kind of live out here and afford to live out here because, again, the cost of living was very, very, very low, and they were not making that much money. And so, kind of like interactive. Yeah, they were poor, but it wasn't as bad. And I'm talking about the villages. I'm talking about all over the Yucatan and all over the region. Okay, remember, it's not just the Yucatan. It's Quintana Roo. The other state where Cancun is, and Playa del Carmen, and Islas Mujeres, and all those areas. All that. And then on the other side, we got Campeche. So this whole area is the Yucatan Peninsula. But I digress. As I was saying, for a lot of people now, life has become unaffordable out here. And, now instead of just being able to, live a peaceful life in the village and just, be able to afford, to, live in that economy there in that village, a lot of people now, for, many different reasons now have to go to the city, aka Merida, in order to work, in order to be able to afford to live the same life that they were already living without having to go to work per se, to the city. They could have just stayed working in that village or with their business or whatever it is, And so things are changing. And so for some people, it's great because now, a lot of young folk, coming from the villages, now they have a big city with a lot of opportunity that's only growing and growing and growing. So for them, it's great because now they don't have to, grow up. They don't have to, now they have more opportunity than what the previous generation had, where the previous generation, barely left the village. And if they did leave the village and go to the city, again, not much opportunity per se. All right. And it was very difficult to kind of like get all that done. Now, these days is not that difficult. Now, these days, all these towns are extremely connected to the major city. A lot of the young folk now, they're dying. That's all they want to do. They're dying to go to the city. They cannot wait, to go to the city and seek out all the opportunities that are there. Again, they're dying to go to work. They're dying to go to school. They cannot wait for all these opportunities. So with that said, that's great for them. But for other people, they just want to continue living that peaceful life. They want to just continue being fishermen or to grow whatever, or just have a little bakery in the village or whatever. Now things, for some people getting a little bit more difficult, some people getting a little better. So because again, now the same villager has to, pay more for his ingredients, to make the bread, to make the whatever it is they're making, and now the villagers have to pay more, and so on and so forth. And so it's a whole thing. And some people again are reluctant for that change. Some people, especially the older generation, they really don't want to change, and now they were already barely making it. Now it's more difficult for them. So it's a very complicated issue on that sense. And but again, now what's happening is that as a lot of this growth is happening, a lot of the younger generation have more opportunity. And so meaning that, now as they're growing up, they know that, once they kind of graduate high school or whatever, that they will be able to, again, if they work hard enough and they put enough effort into it, whatever they're doing, that they'll be able to now afford a nice home, okay, in the city. And now when they have their family and they have their kids, now they will be able to, again, give them a proper life, as opposed to growing up very poor in the village. So again, things are changing. It takes time. It's not easy. It's growing pains, the good, the bad, the ugly. But these are the things, that are going on in this region. And so with that said, again, even with all that going on at the moment, right now, again, the reason I bring this up is because, wrong button. The reason I bring this up is because the other day I was on, Instagram or whatever, and I saw this video, that's, done by the local newspaper, the Yucatan Diario de Yucatan, the Daily Yucatan or whatever, Spanish Mexican newspaper that I follow on Instagram. They got an Instagram page. And so anyways, they posted this, and it says right there, look, and in the Yucatan, 88 out of every 100 people are poor. Okay, that's what it says right there. So 88 out of 100 people are poor. That means that 88% of the population lives in poverty. Okay? And then it says 5 municipalities, 5 counties, are the poorest, whatever. In which those counties, more than 80% of the population is in that situation. Okay? Because again, you're coming to the city of Merida, in the city of Merida, 88% are not in poverty, okay? That's the state as a whole, kind of like, all the numbers. I don't know what the exact numbers for Merida is, but I'm sure they're smaller than in some of these villages. Which again, by the way, I got a video coming up soon where you're going to see how poor exactly, some of these people are, okay? You're going to see. So stay tuned for that. It's hopefully Sunday, Tuesday at the latest. Stay tuned. Don't forget to, again, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, Hit the bell icon so you know exactly, when I drop a video. Sometimes you get a notification, sometimes you don't. Always check on my page and you'll always see the videos there. But anyways, don't forget to hit the likes. Thanks again. Like. Let me see if the thing works. No? Hey. All right, never mind. It works when it wants to work. Anyways, so out of 2,320,000, okay, so out of 2,321,000, all right, round up, 2,034,000 or 35,000, whatever, are poor. Okay, so look at that. So basically, about 290,000 people, okay, in the whole state. Okay, only 200. That's including you and me, by the way. Okay, even my poor dumbass. All right, I'm included in the small one. But anyways, long story short, over 2 million. Okay, over 2 million out of the 2,300,000 are in the poverty level. Okay, and what is are poor? Okay, and what is poor? What does poor consist of? It says there's no areas that have less than 20% of poor. But anyways, all right. And it says the World Bank defines a poor person, okay, as someone with that makes $2.15 a day, which is 44 pesos. Okay, so anyone that makes $2.15 a day is considered poor. All right, so that's the majority of the population here. Okay, so the majority of the population here makes less than $2 a day. All right, makes $2 a day. All right, and then if you have a smaller salary, okay, it would be $7 a day. All right. Oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think I read that wrong. No, yeah, okay. So basically, you are considered poor if you make between $2 to $6 a day. So from $6 below. Okay. So 7.3 of the world population lives in extreme poverty. All right. I'm going to let that play again so you can get that. But yeah, long story short, you know what I mean? Basically, the majority of the population, 88% of the population is making less than $6 a day or $6 a day. All right. So just FYI. All right. And, I was doing the calculations the other day, you know what I mean? Between, as to like what I spend a day on food between, me and Christian. And it's around $15, $20. All right. Believe it or not. So. But anyway, so yeah, yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I guess the text on the thing wasn't correct or something. I don't know. But anyways, between 2 and here, you can see here's some images of some people that are in really poor conditions. All right. So you can get an idea there. All right. Some of these poor areas. Now, as I was saying earlier, like again, a lot of people live in these areas. A lot of people live in these conditions. But on the flip side, again, you're gonna see. Again, I was filming. I've been filming a lot the last several days. I got a lot to edit. But anyways, not only did we go to one of the poorest, or a very, very, very poor, area, and covered that. But then, again, I did another real estate video, and in that video, we went to go see some really, expensive homes. Again, expensive, especially for a Mexican. Might not be expensive for you. Might not be expensive for a wealthy Mexican. But I mean, for someone like this, it's it's near impossible. I mean, to get. Think about it. They're living in wooden shacks, for crying out loud. All right, living in cardboard boxes. That kind of situation. And so this is where you start seeing a kind of like a disconnect, in Mexico. All right. And so that's the thing. And so this region, especially, we're seeing a large disparity between the rich and the poor. And so, things are changing. Again, the government that's in place now, they have been lifting many people out of extreme poverty. And, it's, again, we just had elections here in Mexico, and the same party, the same governmental party won. So, we're, a lot of people are expecting more of the same when it comes to that. And, with that being said, we're going to be seeing even more and more and more development, because the reality is that, even for you, coming out here, what's going on is that, as more and more Mexicans, like, for example, in this city, that come from poverty, whether they're coming from the villages or they're coming from the southern portion of the city, all right, the southern part of the city, those Mexicans, again, as they're being lifted up from poverty, they are moving to areas like Cauquel, Concal, the north, other areas around the north, Las Americas, whatever, all these desirable areas, because they don't want to live like this. That's how they grew up. What you're looking at right now, something similar to what you're looking at right there. They might have grown up like that, and they finally are, old enough, and, now they got a family, they got a pretty good paying job, and yada, 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 and they can afford to live in the city. Well, again, in a better part of the city. And a lot of them do, and then all of a sudden, not only do they have a nicer home, they got a nicer car, they start getting that American life, okay? And so on and so forth, all right? And so as that's happening, it's all of a sudden opening up vacancies in these areas, meaning that all of a sudden, you're in a neighborhood like where I live. You're in a neighborhood like, again, even more poor. I don't live in a poor neighborhood. I live in a lower middle class, neighborhood. But, as, you go lower on the economic rung, when it comes to neighborhoods, you're going to be seeing more and more vacancies these days. And those are all getting filled up. It could be by people like you or other Mexicans that are poor moving to this city. You know what I mean? Other Mexicans that are poor, from other parts of Mexico moving out here for the opportunities. So you're seeing a combination, where, the poor areas, are, starting to see, a bit of a, dislocation, a movement, again, depopulation, in the sense of like, they're moving up to better horizons. And then, a lot of other people from even lower means are now filling those spots, or again, people like you or me are moving into some of these spots, or investing or buying into some of these spots. Because look, again, you're going to see in a video I'm going to do very soon about real estate, which again, I've done videos on real estate before, and you can come out here and you can purchase a ready-made home that has all the bells and whistles and everything that you could ever want, just like in the USA, for $300,000, give or take. All right. You can get all that here. And it's all done, ready to go. Just to give you an example. Or, you can go down to the south, you can go to certain areas, and you can still buy a house or a property or land or whatever for $20,000, $50,000, whatever. You know what I mean? And then eventually build and do your own thing. Again, as you guys can see, some of these people didn't even pay for any property. They basically, because they're Mexican, and they understand how the law works and the Constitution works, basically they just kind of, many regions, they just take over the land and then they just build a home there. And then that land just eventually becomes theirs. The government has to give it to them, but that's not something you're going to be doing. And it doesn't matter. The point is that, you can just buy a piece of land and either hire somebody to build something for you, or you can just build it yourself. It don't matter. You know what I mean? So, many options, okay? That's what many Mexicans do, okay? Like I said, they just post up somewhere, they find some land, some area, some community, and then they just build. That's it, okay? That's why you don't see any tents, okay? Because out here, instead of buying a tent, people can just go on ahead and buy some, what you might call it, like brick cements, not brick cements. What is it? Cement blocks, and then just build a house. Or they got rocks everywhere. They can build it with the rocks. But yeah, so there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of things that are going on, and the reality is that the majority of Mexico, I mean not Mexico, so the majority of this state of the Yucatan, the majority of Merida, is poor. But it doesn't mean that they're sad or unhappy or again, it's a different kind of poor. You already know. Out here in Mexico, you could do whatever you want. You know what I mean? A lot of people are very happy living a super minimalistic life. Okay? And others that want more opportunities, they have them available now. And they're going to be more and more available as time goes on. So, as I was saying, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, by the way, real quick, before I get too distracted there, guys, please, if you are enjoying today's show, if you enjoy my talks, my rants, my show, my whatever, and you want to hang out with me later, again, I do 2 different live streams every single Thursday. So today we're doing, I always start off every Thursday with a live stream on this channel, which is, talking about Mexico, life in Mexico. You guys already know, you guys have been here before. So that's what we're doing here. And then later on, I have my other channel, and over there, it's, I guess you can read right there. It says Jose Unleashed. So I talk about everything and anything. So today we're going to be talking about that time I was an Uber driver in LA. So you guys love story time. I got stories for days. I've lived lives. I've done it all. So anyways, again, I'll put the link to the channel in the chat so you guys can go on and check that out if you're interested. And hopefully I get to see you there. In fact, you know what I mean? If you guys are getting any love, any benefit, from, what you're watching here, or you enjoy the show, or you're entertained, or whatever, and you want to show me some love, you want to help me out, I'm not asking for money. I'm asking you to go over there and subscribe. Please, go watch a few videos if maybe you might like it. And if you do, hit a like and all that stuff. But go subscribe over there. You don't have to go watch any videos, but at least, help me, like I help you. Anyway, so... but yeah, so, I talk about, living in the matrix. I talk about, what are better, boomers or doomers. I talk to artificial intelligence here in this one. That was pretty cool. I got to do more of that. I had a podcast with the artificial intelligence. That was pretty weird. Anyways, all right. The time I lived in Seattle, how to prepare for the upcoming elections, basically a survival guide. The reason I quit being a conspiracy theorist. They all came true. But anyways, and so on and so forth. So, again, we cover the hurricane. We do all kinds of things. All right. So, go join me over there. I would love you very much. All right. If you do that, you're the best. Anyways, and we go live at basically a little bit after I'm done here. So, give or take. Yeah, because it's 4 p.m. Eastern is when we go live. Or earlier or later, but around 4 p.m. Eastern. Anywho's, go join me over there. I would love to see you guys there. Got a lot of stories. Got a lot of fun stuff to share with you guys there. Okay, anyways, all right, let's get back to the show. Let me see what you guys have to say in the chat. And by the way, also for those of you guys that don't know, in case you don't know, go to my website. On my website, I got all kinds of free information for you guys to take advantage of. So please, before you pay anybody, including myself, by the way, I don't sell anything, but except crappy t-shirts and my time. But other than that, before you pay for anything, all right, please feel free to check out my website. You might be surprised. You might be able to, get what you need for free on my website. Okay, so again, go to my website. Look, see, let's click on Mexico general information. Look at that. Right off the bat, I got a video on how to find rentals and all the websites. Look at that. Click on this one. Boom. Okay, and it's a website. And all these are like the rental.com, the Zillows.com, blah, blah, blah of Mexico. Okay, so got some links there. Got a video, show you how to use it. Facebook is also great. Again, and I got other videos. Again, 20 questions I get asked the most. What you need to know before you rent. A banking solution, apostle solution, translator app if you need one. If you need to learn how to work remotely. If you need a lawyer. If you need to get your residency. if you need to buy a property, whatever you need, if everything you need to know about residency. Because I know a lot of you guys, that's a main thing right there. Boom. Okay, jobs. A lot of you guys are like, hey man, I need work. Boom. It's like, do I got to do it all for you? Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, and I'm doing it. Okay, here we are. All right. So, anyways, jobs. You know what I mean? You need a job. I got you a job. You know what I mean? There you go. I mean, I don't know what else you need. You got a job. We got all the resources. Also, if you're moving to Merida, to where I live, the area that we're talking about right now, I also have certain links there. Again, this is my personal assistant. Everyone's like, hey, Jose, can you help me find the home? No, but Stephanie can. Okay. She's not a realtor. She can just help you with that. If you want a realtor, I got a realtor too. Okay, well, which is Jose. You know him already as well. Anyways, that's my vet, my groomer. Okay. Well, anyways, sorry, got ahead of myself. But anyways, yeah, Cynthia, amazing. She comes and helps out Gizmo. Clips his nails, make him smell pretty. Very affordable, and helps him out with minimal things as well. You know what I mean, and all that good stuff. But anyway, she's great in case you need that. Very highly recommended. She comes to the house. She comes over here, all right, and gives him a bath. And Gizmo loves it. But by the way, he hates water. He hates baths. But he loves Cynthia. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Anyway, so does Lambo. I'm not going to get into all that. Anyways, but they love her. All right, anyways, Jose Novello. Again, you know him, from previous episodes, where, we talk about, in this one, we talk about residency. Talk about taxes, talk about rent homes, talk about everything. His specialty is, again, as you can see there, real estate, taxes, business, and he also does immigration. Okay, a lot of you guys are very happy. And again, you need glasses, you need a dentist. Again, real estate information there. My barber. Okay, my favorite bar, my favorite restaurants. Okay, all that shit. Okay, so anyways, and so on and so forth. So, and more resources. I'm not going to go through my whole website. Okay, and if you want to support the show, again, you can wrong button. If you want to, you can right there, shop, all the way to the top. You see, right above my head. You can go to the shop, and I'm going to be adding new stuff real soon. Okay, for Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, so anyways, but yeah, you can buy a t-shirt, with my face on it. Or a nice catchy catchphrase, all right, or whatever. Anyways, but I'm going to be making some new T-shirts coming up real soon. And what else? And that's it. Yeah. What else? Yeah. So check out my website, please. All right. You got Facebook. You got it all up there. All right. All right. And again, if you want to have a consultation with me, you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, and talk to me about anything and everything, we got it. We could do that as well. Okay. Up there. All the information is on the website. All right, so back to what we were talking about, where we were at. Where were we at? Okay, let's go over here. But anyways, guys, so as I was saying, this is the reality of, Mexico and what's going on out here. So in the U.S., poverty, or in Canada, poverty might be increasing, okay? But in a place like Mexico, poverty is decreasing. But just like the USA still has a long way to go before everyone is in poverty, well, same thing here. You know what I mean? Mexico still has a long way to go before everyone's taken out of poverty. And some regions of Mexico, are more impoverished than others. If you can believe it, there are other Mexican states that are even more poor than this region. What sets this region apart at the moment is the fact that it is one of the poorest regions, okay, in Mexico. And at this moment, it is now one of the most expensive regions. So it's literally turned into Florida. When I moved here over 6 years ago, this region was the cheapest. That's why I moved here. Because again, you know my story. And if you don't, again, I came out here with only $1,500 left to my name. And here we are, survived. All right, we made it. And, but that was one of the reasons why I chose this area, because of the cost of living was the lowest in Mexico. And now it is one of the highest in Mexico. And this region is one of the regions that pays the least, if not the region that pays the least in all of Mexico. So that's not a good combination. Again, as we were saying earlier, back in the day when this region of Mexico, Again, let me show you the beach here. You know, back in the day, this region of Mexico, again, was the cheapest, the most affordable place to live, and you didn't make that much money. So again, it was okay. You know, again, it was livable. But as this area, this whole area, look at it. It's beautiful. As this area, in fact, here, hold on. Okay, as this area, okay, has gotten more and more desirable, and more people are moving here from all over the world, okay, and Mexico. Well, guess what? You know what I mean? Now it's just gotten more and more expensive, and unfortunately, well, you know that again, this is a mixed bag of things. Where yes, it's bringing opportunity and more you know, ability to make money for a lot of Yucatecans, but for others is making life more difficult, okay, and not in a good way. And again, you know, we're also seeing a lot of growing pains, because as we're seeing a giant push, you know, to live in the north of the city, all right, whether it's the poor Mexicans that are moving up the economic rung, whether it's people like you or me that are moving out here and don't want to live in the south, don't want to live with the peoples per se. You know, we want to live in the more desirable areas, maybe in a gated community, you know, maybe in a nicer community, which again, all your neighbors are probably Mexican, but they're wealthy Mexicans, as opposed to like where I live, where, you know, I'm probably the wealthiest, or the second or third wealthiest. I'm probably the poorest. Look, the point I'm making is that, yeah, you know what I mean? There are many different parts of the city, and the more people are moving to the north of the city, the more desirable area of the city, where the country clubs are, you know, where the malls are, the nice malls, you know, where the golf courses are, you know, where all that stuff is. Everybody wants to live there. I mean, come on, you know, you were always in the USA trying to achieve the American dream as well, you know, so it's the same thing here. You know, people are achieving the Mexican dream. And so that is the Mexican dream. Again, as I was saying before, you know, just a better life for their families. And they're going to get that in the north for the most part. You know what I mean? Again, it's just, you know, there's many levels to this, you know. But again, it's not that they're going to get it per se on the north. It's just that image of it, okay, of that better life is up in the north. And so a lot of people want that in one shape, form, or another. And so that's the thing. And so, you know, you're seeing a lot of growth. And so with that growth, you know, you're seeing the growing pains, AKA, you know, you're seeing things like, you know, more traffic, you know, a lot of construction going on, a lot of, you know, whatchamacallit, like the grid is not keeping up in certain areas, you know, because, you know, they're building faster. You know, they're building buildings and developments and all that stuff faster than they can build the infrastructure to keep up with it, and so on and so forth. So, you know, that's the thing. And so, you know, in an area where I live, you know, I get to enjoy even more peace and quiet because, you know, again, it's getting quieter until you guys start moving in, and I can go on and on, you know. So, you know, it's a cycle, you know, as the city keeps growing and growing and growing, we're going to be seeing more and more of this. All right. So let me see if I can, hold on, let me show you real quick a little bit of the map so you guys can get an idea in case you don't know the city just yet. But anyways, by the way, I'm going to read the comments right now and see if you guys have any questions, any comments, anything to add. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. All right. I'll put the city here so you guys can see a better view. Okay, of the city that we're talking about. Okay, and again, you guys know the north is the top of the city. The south is, you know, the bottom of the city. Anyways, all right. Rodney says, plane is booked for October 31st to Guadalajara. Awesome, awesome. Enjoy Dia de los Muertos when you're out there. DB Goodman says he's going to email me later. Awesome. I'm hitting you up for a potential remote job you may be interested in. I'm not interested in any job, but thanks anyways. So let me see. The buck stops here. Says, I've been on Jose's website for a few days looking at apartments in Mexico. His website is very informative. And oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Rick says, yay, you didn't finish Lambo off. No, he's there. Don't worry. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's there. It is what it is. He's part of the family. All right. Like I said, I've been in and out of hospitals all week, between, the family, between Lambo. Again, for those of you guys that don't know, last week, I tripped over him and he broke his leg. Again, we did not have to take him to the glue factory, so he's all good. Anywho, so let me see, read any more comments here. I think, but yeah, guys, at the end of the day, what was I gonna say? Where was I? But anyway, so there's the city, and as you guys can see, there's a lot of development in the city. Again, you can right there look. The main city of Merida is basically everything within that circle. Okay, everything within that highway. Okay, Highway 180 or whatever. Okay, you see that, the thing that's basically going around. All right. So, anyways, that's that's basically the main city. Now, outside of the city, as things have been growing, we have areas like Cauquel. Okay, you have areas like, again, this is the Las Americas region. You got Emozon Norte. You got Ditzia somewhere up here, somewhere. We got Cholul, Concao. Okay. All these areas. And the thing is that you need a car. Obviously, if you're going to be living in these regions, you need a car. And now, it's not going to be hours of driving, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. But yeah, what I mean? Again, as an American, it's not a big deal. If you're coming from Mexico City, Guadalajara, 15, 20 minutes is not a big deal. But anyways, yes, you see the development of this region. And you see around the city, again, like I said, all these regions are, growing. And so look, Canacin. Okay, this would be considered the hood. This area is more the hood. This area here, Los Héroes, this area, the Tecos, whatever. Okay, Villas de Oriente. These areas here, this is the hood. This is the, if I were to say stay away from one area, this whole area on this side, okay? There. That part, okay? Kind of, anyways, not the whole part, just there. Okay? That area. But again, it's not the worst, It's not whatever. Anyways, we got Uman over here. But anyways, all these, it's at one point, like this area was like its own village, its own thing, and now it's like it's all connected. You feel me? Same as Canacin. At one point, it was its own thing, and now it's all connected. But Canacin is its own separate thing. Same as Uman. Same as Cauquel. Again, you see at one point this was all separate and its own thing, and now it's all connected, and so on and so forth. And you're seeing the same thing all over. Okay? So long story short, I've realized, after living in the city for a while, yeah, you can get around on mass transit. But the reality is that for a lot of people and for certain regions of the city, you need a car, just like in the USA. So if you're going to be living in this region, if you're going to be living in the north region, in these regions of the city, you're going to need a car for sure. If you're living, closer to these regions in the south central, like south central LA. But anyways, if you live, south central, like where I live, then yeah, you can get around on a bus, on a bike, walking, okay, Uber, no big deal, okay. But the more north you go, yeah, the more expensive or difficult it is, to use these things, okay? Because, for example, even though, again, see, look, and when you're far away, you don't see much, but the closer you get, you see the infrastructure, you see all the roads, you start seeing everything, right? But all I'm saying is that no real buses go through these areas yet. Why? Because these are the rich areas. This is the money area. We don't need no buses up here. All the buses are more concentrated towards the south. The east. Sorry, yeah, the east, the west, the south, the middle, maybe Cal, going out to the villages and other areas and shit like that. Yeah, of course you're going to see the buses up here. But let's say that, you got to go to Temozon Norte. The bus might drop you off all the way down here on the Periférico, might drop you off, over here, and then you got to walk like a long distance and things like that. So they don't have the infrastructure out here yet, simply because, outside of like Las Americas or Cholul, Cauquel, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like, the many buses don't really kind of go up there or anything like that. So you need a car. And an Uber is going to be expensive. Okay? Assuming even Ubers want to go up there. They might drop you off, but I don't know, I'll pick you up all the time. But anyways, and then, the advantages of being in the city and closer to the city is that, the fact that, you'll be able to use mass transit, no problem. You'll be able to get around a lot easier and so on and so forth. And so, again, as I was saying, a lot of Mexicans, a lot of Yucatecans, that used to live in this region of the city, right there, the south of the city, basically, they're the ones that as they're, as they're, leaving high school, getting careers, yada, 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 yada. Now they're leaving these areas and moving up here to these areas. Okay? And again, same thing. Let's say you're in, whatever, this pueblo all the way out here, down there. It's the same kind of thing. Now, you maybe, it's getting too expensive down there, and sure, it might, you might be able to get away with staying down there and living down there and keeping your economy down there. Or you might now all of a sudden, have to get on a bus every day, all right, and travel to the city, to go to work. Whether it's working, for somebody, you might be a housekeeper, you might take care of kids, you might be a cleaning lady, a gardener, all kinds of jobs. Or you might be working in a factory. You might work at the airport. You might work at the hotel. You might work at, And some people want to do this. Some people don't want to do this. Again, some people want the opportunity, want the money, want the growth, want the better life for their family. Some people don't. So it's just, it's a double-edged sword. So, all right, let me see. I got some questions coming in. How am I doing? I'm doing great. Thank you, Philip, for asking. Lenora says, hi, Jose. Do you have a Mexican driver's license or a U.S. driver's license? I have a U.S. driver's license. And it's expired. And it's still no problem. I've been pulled over. I've gotten tickets. All right? And that's it. I don't have a Mexican driver's license, Why? Because each state in Mexico is very different as to how they issue their license. So, in the Yucatan, it is such a pain in the ass. They make you go through all the tests, and it's even worse than the DMV in the USA. But let's say you go to like Mexico City, you just basically show up to the DMV, pay a fee. That's it. You get a driver's license. Simple as that. So, meaning anybody off the street, any Mexican, whatever, they don't even care. So, and a license is something very different in Mexico. It's just a license to drive. That's it. Nothing else. So, with the new government, the new, Claudia Sheinbaum, the new government, part of what they want to do is that they want to instill a national driver's license, meaning that you can get a driver's license once. Let's say you get a driver's license in Baja. All right, and then that, what did I do? Anyways, you get a, what are you doing? All right, sorry. You get a driver's license in Baja, for example, and it's good in the Yucatan, or you get it in Chiapas and it's good in Mexico City, whatever. It's national. You get one, and it's a lifetime driver's license. So that's what they want to make it. Okay, meaning that you go get your license once, anywhere, and it's good and valid everywhere. So yeah, a license out here is not that big a deal. Meaning you can drive with your freaking license, okay? Now, I don't recommend you drive with an expired license like my dumbass does. Because again, depending on the part of Mexico you're in, it will depend on the kind of cops you get. And cops are cops, and they're always going to be looking for an excuse to, here in Mexico, they're always going to be looking for an excuse to get some money. So basically hey, you got an expired license. We can, we can avoid this situation if you just give me some cash. Now, you're not going to see that in the Yucatan because the Yucatan is notorious for being very safe, and they don't play those things out here, even though they do. Meaning, you're not going to see that in Merida proper for the most part. But you go to the beach, all right, and that might be a problem. But again, it's like a slap on the wrist. You pay a fine. Hey, go get a license, whatever. Or go get make sure your license is not expired next time, okay? That kind of shit, okay? Not like in the USA. In the USA, you have a expired driver's license, and it's straight to jail. Straight to jail, Straight, no chaser. So, don't worry about it. If you have a U.S. driver's license, you're good to go, all right? And like I said, depending on the state in Mexico you're in, will depend on the ease of getting a license. But again, if this is years down the line, don't worry about it. Maybe by the time you get here, you should be able to get a Mexican driver's license like that, and it's a national driver's license, and that's it. You're never going to need another driver's license ever again. All right, so hope that helps. And if you have an international driver's license like Hidden Knowledge says, then you're good to go. You know what I mean? You got nothing to worry about. Jose, are the shoes sold in Mexico pretty good? The same. They sell the same things here shoe-wise as they do in the USA. So, if, the Nikes are starting to suck in the USA, they're starting to suck here too. But they have Mexican shoe brands that are really good. Like, I think Pan Am is one of them. But they got, some Mexican brands. And again, out here, you can get shoes made, for about the same prices as Skechers. So, but, proper shoes and stuff like that. But long story short, like, depending on the region, will depend on whether you're going to be able to find your shoe size or not. So, in this part of Mexico where I live, in the Yucatan, the people here are notoriously small, small, short, small, tiny, whatever. And I'm big. Now, in my family, I'm the runt in my family. I'm like the smallest in my family. But out here, I'm just 6 foot and 220 pounds. And, I wear a size 12, which is like average in the USA. But out here, it's a monster foot, and I cannot get any shoes. I'll go to when I go to the shoe store, which I have to get a new shoes soon. I literally just go into the store and I say, this is my shoe size, and do you have any shoes? Like, oh yeah, I think we got 3 pairs in that size. All right, great. Bring me the shoes, and I pick the least ugly one and the more comfortable one or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, now that we're here on the map, look, you see here Celestun. That's where we went the other day. All right, when we did the video, the one that I filmed a couple days ago that I'm going to be editing soon, hopefully uploading Tuesday at the latest Sunday, where we went out there and helped the local communities that were affected by the hurricane. So remember the last hurricane, I think, what was it, Milton? I think Hurricane Milton. As remember, we did hurricane coverage, but anyways, the hurricane came really close, okay, extremely close, and to the coast. And basically, areas like Celestun, Cesal, Chelem, Chaburna, Progreso, all these areas, San Benito, Telchac, all these areas, all these areas got hit really hard. Everything on the coast. And especially this area that's really poor over here. So we were in Celestun. We saw some flamingos. We saw some raccoons. It was nice. All right, so we were there. So hopefully you guys will join me for that video. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and hopefully you guys are inspired, to help, some people, by maybe sending a few bucks, to buy some food for the kids. It's all about the kids, right? To help the kids, help the people there, that still need food, still need water, still need, basics. Like toilet paper. I know. We always make fun of everybody, getting toilet paper, but, it's still, something that people need, right? Well, but again, when you're poor, you're not really, you're not going out there to buy toilet paper, you're not spending your money on that. So, it's a nice thing to give them toilet paper when, they're not going to go and buy it on their own because they're too poor to go buy it on their own. And they got to go the more traditional route when it comes to that. But anyways, we were giving away things like feminine products, toiletries, food, water, what else? Eggs, clothes, all kinds of shit. So anyways, guys, alrighty. I think we're going to put a kibosh on this one. Let me see. Any more comments before we head out of here? Ultra says, I just moved to Mexico a couple of weeks ago. How do I apply for a work visa and apply for work? I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know. You know what I mean? I would say start at going to immigration. Go to the immigration office. All right. And, apply there because that's who's going to give it to you. So go to immigration, INM. Okay. INM. Okay. Go to INM and go get your work visa. But I would highly recommend you look for a job first because in many places, you might not need a work visa. And in the few places that you do need a work visa, they will probably provide one for you, okay, and help you out with all that. So, look into that. But yeah, if you just need a work visa, if that's what you're looking for, go to immigration, okay, and ask for it. But that's it. So, okay. Or a work permit is what you need. Sorry, work permit. Miklos says, Jose, what would you recommend to start doing when I arrive in Merida to obtain info on moving there? I have seen your videos, but I don't know. What do you mean? The same thing. Just watch my videos. Watch again. We got my website. You got my videos. There are other people that have videos and information out there. I mean, I don't know. I had to figure it out all on my own, So that's why, again, when I started this channel over 6.5 years ago, I was filming everything and we were learning everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, all along the way. And But the thing is, it's like, there's not an instruction booklet for everything in life. And so, some things you got to figure out on your own as you do it. So, you know what I mean? Sorry, brother. Anyways, I think that's it, though. I think that's it. All right, so Milton really hit Florida hard, that's for sure. So, but anyways, guys, all right, well, we're going to head out of here. Again, I'm going to be going live again in a few minutes, well, about 30 minutes, give or take. Again, go to my other channel, all right? I'm going to put a link, all right, in the chat so you guys can go join me over there, all right? And go hang out over there. Again, today, we're going to be talking about that time I was an Uber driver. I got tons of fun stories. Again, that's my other channel where I talk about whatever. You know what I mean? We can talk about current events. We're going to be covering the election, soon. Okay, the ticking time bomb, is about to blow up soon. So we got all that. So we got many things to talk about. But today, we're keeping it lighthearted. We're doing it, keeping it simple. We're just going to have some fun stories, funny stories. You already know, my life is a book, an adventure. I got stories for days. And hopefully you enjoy, today's live stream over there, today's story time. And if you do, you can check out the rest of the channel. And you can see all the other story times I have on that channel. Okay, that's a separate channel from this one. On this channel, it's all about life in Mexico, living abroad as an American and all that stuff. So that's what this channel is about. And then the other channel is story time. And by the way, I got many channels, all right, which, at one point we're going to revive, but we got a cooking channel. So if you're going to want to go back into that. And then I got my original channel, down below there again, which was, basically banned, because, I don't know, I didn't like what I was saying back then. So, this channel is G-rated Jose, okay? Jose Unleash is X-rated, R-rated Jose, all right? And then Cooking with Jose, PG-13, all right? We'll do that. Anyways, so guys, all right, so please, I hope that you guys join me over there. We're going to go live over there about 30 minutes, give or take, and we're going to be talking about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day today. I hope you had a wonderful time hanging out with me today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say except see you Sunday. You already know, every Sunday we drop a video here. Every Tuesday we drop a video here. And every Thursday we go live on the channel. So please, again, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. All right. And I hope to see you guys there. And again, you know, I've been busy this week, but I got a couple videos I've already filmed, and I gotta edit and get ready for you guys. And hopefully, I'll be able to have you know, the video where we were helping the hurricane victims. You know, hopefully I can get that done for Sunday, or as soon as possible, to, you know, so you guys can help them out as soon as possible, because they're really in need over there. And like I said, thank you so much, Philip, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. But again, you took the words out of my mouth, like I was saying, you know, in that video. And I really would appreciate it, you know, for anyone out there that, you know, likes to support the show, you know, send me $1, $5, whatever. Again, help support them, you know, because they need the help right now. But again, I'll provide all the links and all the info for all that in the future. You know, when I make that video within a few days, you know, and you guys can go on that. But anyways, shout out to Philip. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And I'm going to put a link here to the last time we went out to help the local communities that are in need. All right. So in case you want to, you know, watch that after you watch this one and help them, that'd be nice. Be great. It'd be wonderful. Or again, just wait till Sunday. All right, when hopefully, or you know, within the next few days, or I can drop the other one. Okay. But anyways, all right, guys, you already know the deal. Thanks again. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you could ever imagine. And you already know the deal, guys. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon. But more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. All right. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes as we go live on the other channel talking about my crazy Uber stories, all right? So, love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.